Statement stuff about net zero and the climate. We've got a story about the weather, not from the Daily Star, but the Financial Times.
I know, we don't often do the Financial Times. Controlling the weather to tackle global warming demands regulation, says EU. I think this is a perfectly sensible policy. It's nothing written in stone yet, but the idea is there are a lot of people, whatever you think the causes are, and there's like the natural effect, but also global warming being also a human-made effect. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, because this is talking about actually controlling the weather, like some sort of conspiracy theory. Controlling the weather, like some sort of conspiracy theory. You know, sending things that burst and scatter particles into the upper atmosphere. Burst and scatter particles into the upper atmosphere.
So in 1991 there was a volcano, and it brought down the temperature by about half a degree.
Yeah.
Because of the particles that went into the environment. So this is one of the things that they're talking about, is getting up into the stratosphere and then release these particles, which will have a similar effect. But of course, we don't really know the long-term effect. Also, it might be shifting patterns across elsewhere. It's going to cost billions of dollars. It's going to cost billions of dollars. But the other thing they're saying is that when it stops, it might suddenly come back, but even harder. So when you mess with nature, it could have
Nick, are you worried about us paying our taxes to net zero to create a sort of nuclear winter? A sort of nuclear winter?
Yeah, I am a bit. I'm worried about, well, like you said, it's another conspiracy coming true. Everyone talks about HARP and weather systems, they're controlling the weather. Turns out they totally are. Bill Gates wanted to block the sun, and it's right here. It's called stratospheric aerosol injection.
What's it, conspiracy?
They want it.
I don't understand why isn't it?
Because people were saying that. Because they didn't emit it for ages. Like a lot of these things, like Bilderberg, if it wasn't admitted for it, they just admit it, it'd be fine.
Yeah, but they didn't admit it, but now they're saying, well, we need to regulate it. We need to regulate the thing we're definitely not doing.
My thing is, I'm less worried, not that I'm saying climate change isn't real, but I'm less worried about that. I'm more worried about the EU regulating the weather. The EU regulating the weather. Do you know what I mean? They don't tend to get things right. You know, this bureaucracy with a rubbish flag.
At least this is the first institution that is going to be stepping into it. I don't think this has been a conspiracy. This sort of stuff has been talked about for a long, long time. It's even in sort of science fiction. TV series.
Gaslighting us.
He's gaslighting as well, yeah.
I've heard a lot of these different ideas have been used.
Yeah, so am I on weird television.
Yeah, but there is real science here. I've been reading about this stuff for a long time. This is not new, and it's certainly not a conspiracy. Well,
says the guy who can't even get a phone. I mean...